you guys a strategy you're gonna absolutely love. Let's get straight into this one. Okay, now before we actually get into this thing, yes, I do have an abdominal routine that is gonna help you to get a six pack, but that's a little bit later. First and foremost, we need to handle the most important aspect of this, yes, your diet. See, here's the thing. If you don't have abs, you can't see your abs, you train your abs frequently, there's too much fat. So we gotta handle the fat first and foremost. So as I've said in many videos, we need to be in a calorie deficit in order to lose the fat. Start with 500 calories per day. You can crank that up a little bit more later as you get more down the road, but start with a 500 calorie deficit. Now to actually hit your calorie deficit, because I know how hard this is, I'm gonna give you 3, maybe it was 4, tips that are gonna help you to actually crush the deficit, nail it, and it's a lot more simplistic than you probably ever imagined. Tip number 1, minimize and try and overcome your bad snacking habits. And when is the bad snacking habit gonna happen? It's going to happen late at night when your self-discipline has been totally drained and you're at risk of consuming way too many calories. So the best tip that I can give you to overcome this is to purge all of the bad snack food from your pantry and from your fridge. This is what I have done currently right now, because it doesn't matter how quote unquote healthy the snacks are. If I need to snack and it's late at night, for some reason, I just need to constantly keep doing it past the point of being full, whether I'm watching TV or on my computer. It's just a habit that I want to do. So by removing all of those really bad calorie dense snacks and instead replacing them with things like Granny Smith apples, rice cakes, and like baby carrots that I dip with salsa, very low calorie snacks, I tend to turn to those and satisfy my craving of actually just chewing on something late at night, because that's just a habit that you're really addicted to. And this then saves me several hundred calories every single night, which adds up to several thousand calories every single week. That is gonna help me to actually hit my calorie deficit and start to get my abs to show even more. Tip number 2, treat your weekend eating the same way that you do with your weekday. Now, typically the way most people treat diet, weekends don't count. I'm personally guilty of this too, but if you're having a tough time actually losing that fat, then now is the time to take your weekends as seriously as your weekdays. Because for most people, on both Saturday and on Sunday, they're in about a calorie surplus of 500 to 1,000 calories if they're really not being strict with their diet. This really makes Monday to Friday tough when you have a whole 1,000 to 2,000 extra calories that you gotta burn on top of the diet you're already trying to maintain. So if you're really trying to dial it down that last little notch, now is the time that you begin taking Saturday and Sunday a little bit more seriously. Thing number 3, avoid by all means bad food people. Bad food people, they're either your friends, your family, anybody that you tend to hang out with, and whenever you're talking to them or hanging out with them, they start bringing up suggestions like, we should grab a pizza. We should go get, mocha frappe latte, mocha frappe lattes. I don't even know if that's a real word, but they all of a sudden start recommending all this really bad food. And you notice that every time you hang out with them, you eat terribly. You start going to fast food restaurants and buffets. You know the drill. You're gonna have to do your best to minimize the time that you spend hanging out with them. And as weird of a tip as this is, you guys are gonna be pretty damn impressed with the effects of this. I've tried to do this myself, and once I do it, fat loss is a lot easier. Tip number 4, liquid calories. Recognize them and avoid them. If it's not water, you better realize that the drink you're probably gonna consume right now is gonna set you back a couple hundred calories. Pop, alcohol, smoothies, iced coffees, mocha frappe lattes, anything that comes from Starbucks. Any kind of a drink that is not water is likely packed with a shit ton of calories. Minimize them, and at best case, avoid them altogether from your diet, and you're gonna save yourself a few hundred calories every single week. And the calorie deficit that you're trying to hit is gonna be a lot more manageable. So there you guys go. Those are just a couple little diet tips. That's the big kahuna too, your diet, that are really gonna help you to start to get into that deficit, maintain that deficit. Kind of interesting tips. Now let's get into the actual routine. All right, so we're getting into our routine here, and now in order to get our abs to show, we're gonna be doing 2 parts to this. First part is to burn fat, as you can see me doing with the jump squats here. The second part, the other aspects of the exercise we're gonna be doing, is to target the abdominal muscles. We're gonna be performing each exercise for 30 seconds a piece. Rest about 5 to 10 seconds as you're transitioning in between each one of these exercises, and perform the workout for 2 to 3 total rounds, and perform those exact workouts 2 to 3 times per week. So as you saw, jump squats first. Now we're getting into the bicycles, and this is actually gonna be able to allow us to hit pretty much every angle of the abdominal muscles. Upper abdominal, lower abdominal, the obliques, slow tempo. You always wanna opt for the slower tempo while you're performing all the abdominal exercises. And then we're gonna be jumping into some jumping jacks. These aren't your elementary school, low-level intensity jumping jacks. We're putting some speed behind it. That's the purpose. As you can see, half hit, so we perform a hit exercise and then an abdominal exercise. And that's what allows us to achieve both the fat loss and the abdominal targeting. Now here's some crunches. You'll notice that I'm performing this by keeping my chin off the chest. This will prevent any neck pain. I'm just lifting my shoulder blades off of the ground, and I've even added in like a half of a second of an isometric hold. I know, I love these things. I always include them. So if everyone's gonna go, oh, Tanner, you always say, it's because they work. I use them myself. They really, really work. So half of a second at the peak of the contraction where you're squeezing your abdominal muscles as hard as you possibly can. And then we're getting into 30 seconds of one of the harder exercises here, the thigh slap jumps. You'll notice I'm doing like 2 to 3 little mini hops on the bottom there. I'm landing on my toes so I can reduce impact. I'm getting up. I'm trying to get up really high. Bringing those thighs up as high as I possibly can right there too. You definitely want to push yourself on this exercise. Now to target the lower abdominals, we hit the upper with the crunches. We're going to be getting into some reverse crunches. You'll notice those feet never touch the ground. They get really, really close. They hover, and this is what allows me to keep engagement on my lower abdominals the entire time. As simplistic as this one looks, it is actually a lot more difficult than you probably imagined, especially in conjunction with the whole rest of the routine. Now our last fat burning exercise we're getting into here are the good old mountain climbers. Looking for some speed, but make sure you can maintain the speed. Find your tempo, try and challenge yourself with the tempo, but try and maintain that speed for the full 30 seconds. Directly after that, we're gonna be getting into some lying heel touchers. Great exercise that's actually gonna hit your upper abdominals as well as your obliques when I'm reaching for the outside of my foot on each and every single repetition, focusing on squeezing my obliques, and this will really help you to maximize the effect of this routine. Again, be sure to attempt to perform this routine 2 to 3 total times, maybe rest like 30 seconds in between each round. After you've done that, maybe rest a day and try it again. Perform the routine about 2 to 3 times per week. But remember, the most important aspect of this is your diet. If you eat like shit, if you're in a calorie surplus, I don't care how many times a week you do this routine, you will not get your abs to show. And for all of you guys who made it this far, be sure to leave a prayer hands emoji down in the comment section just to see how many of you made it this far. And also so we control the rest of the comment section and people go, why are all these prayer hands in the comment section? It's kind of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, then be sure to give your boy a like down below. And also be sure to subscribe for weekly workout tips and nutrition tips that you will not want to miss. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. Again, prayer hand emojis in the comment section. We'll see you in the next video.